Today I've learned a very important lesson. I'm out and I decided that the trees have died back a little bit and I want to do some cleaning. And I noticed that this tree was still green and really nice. It was really nice, but the pieces on the top were sticking up, but all around the tree. Just imagine all of that was around this tree. And I look at it and I'm like, man, that tree is really pretty. But there's a tree growing out of this tree that I need to cut. So I went in there to cut this tree down, not realizing that the parasitic plant. Look at this. This is a parasite. See that plant? That's a parasitic plant, right? So remember what I just said. I went in there to cut the tree that I see up the top that's dried, but all around it was green. And I end up cutting this parasitic plant from off of it. Why? Because I was over here first. And all of this is still green, but the tree itself has died back and now is dried up. But look, the greenery is everywhere. So, you see, this is like our lives. This is our lives right here. This is when I'm introducing people to Christ. And I said, He is the gardener, the vine dresser. He's the husbandman. This is what it means. He comes in and he cleans you up. You could not tell where this tree starts or where it stops. I had to chop all of these things off of there, and there's some of it is still left on there. Look how big those roots are. So from the outside, I look at this tree from out here and I'm like, oh my gosh, this tree is really pretty. It's green and really nice. But when you look up the top, it would like, oh, that tree is growing out of it. Just like I see that one over there growing out of it. And I was like, whoa, this tree need help. So I went over there to do what? To cut this down, not realizing that that was a parasite in your life and in my life. Sometimes there are things that clutter our lives from our past, and we have to get rid of them. But the thing is, we don't know. The tree's over here. The tree can't get rid of this thing. The tree's waiting for the vine dresser to come and take it off, for the gardener to take it off, for the life giver to take it off. And now that I've taken it off the tree's going to bloom, because look, all of this is dead cells right here. It's just dead. Look, this thing is just dead. It's like the roots have turned the bark of the tree into literal dirt so that it can survive. See? Like it can survive on that. The tree is not breathing. The tree is not surviving. It's just living off the tree, and it's hurting the tree. So there are things in our lives that are hurting us, that are stopping us from growing. So when Christ comes in, He's supposed to remove these things. But a lot of us are like when we go to college. We go to college and we read and we write and we learn to do so many things. But at the end of the day, we come out being schooled but not educated. We're schooled but not educated. We go to the Word of God, and for 30 years we're in the church, and we have been churched, but we have not changed and consecrated our lives to God, that our attitude can change, that our mindset can change, that we can grow and prosper. Now, let's go back to something more important. A lot of people talk about wheat and tare in the church. This is what we're talking about. After spending time over here, understanding what the tare was, that vine, seeing the leaf structure, understanding what it looks like. As soon as I got over here and I was about to chop this down, I realized it's the same leaf structure that was over there, that's over here. So what did I do? I start going after this greenery and realizing that it's not the real tree. So watch this. I now, like Christ, edge it around, and now I have edged this plant around. I took all of that off of it. And the plant now is given a chance to do what? Live. So what did I just do? I remove apostasy and apostate from the church. You're telling me to let them stay. But if I let this thing stay on the tree, look what's happening. These are the root system we're talking about here. Look. This was what was on the tree. If I leave it on the tree, if I leave the root system in the ground, look what's going to happen. It's going to suck that tree dry. It's going to suck it dry and it's going to die. You see it? There's still two different kind of barks down here. Look, this is one bark and over here is another bark. I'm not sure what kind of tree these are. This is the wheat. I'm not sure if this is the good tree and if that is just something that over time grow there and it's not supposed to be there. This might be the good tree with the leaf on it right here. But this one over here have a different leaf structure. Let me show you. You see it? The leaves are different from the leaf that is over here. But I can't cut it down now, because what if this is not a good plant, or if it's just a good plant and that one over there, when it starts to flower in the spring, it's a good plant. I don't know if it's not a good plant. Do you understand? So that's the wheat on the tear growing, but I had to get rid of apostasy, which would suck it dry. So when people are saying, leave people to do what they want to do in the church and say what they want to say, no. When Paul spoke about the man with his mother's wife, he said, get him out. When the elders were preaching apostasy, he said, get them out. When they were resisting him, he said, boy, when I get down there, I got to deal with that. So I want y'all to understand this. This right here is a different plant. That over there is a different plant. I didn't plant them. I don't know how long it will take for me to find out which one is which. I have to wait till spring. For the Christian, he has to wait until what? The time of the trial and the fiery trial take him. Then you will see the evergreen. Like this plant was an evergreen. But when I checked it, it was actually apostasy. And it grew all the way through here. Even now, some of the root system is still there, see? See, it's still here. And I have to go through now and get it, because guess what? I got to get rid of it. So, because Christ now comes as the vine dresser, and that's me. I'm taking care of this, and then I'm going to mulch it around and let it stay there, and then I'm going to come back and see what happened. Now, this plant might be the good one, or that one over there might be the good one. I don't know. So guess what? The day of harvest is going to be spring. When everything comes back and I see what's flowering and what's not, then I can identify what tree these are. So listen, if there's apostasy in the church of God and someone is going to say, oh, leave them until the day of harvest. No, that's different. Their example right out the Bible, when apostates rise up in the church, they got rid of them. They exposed them, right? They exposed them. Oh, Peter, I like what you just did. Can you give me some of that power? No, you're damned to hell. You're going to die. Oh, please. You see? Apostasy must not stand in the church of God. But that is the wheat and tear, because I don't understand the character of that plant until spring comes. You don't know that a person will really give their life to God until trials really take them. Until 30 years later, are they in the church destroying the church? Are they destroying the church? Are they sucking the church dry? Are they leading people to hell and death? This is a question we have to ask ourselves. So I have left some of this in there. You know that this won't die. This will keep sucking the plant. So I have to find a time to take these out, take out every leaf, every root out of this thing, so that the tree can now survive. So this is what you're saying. Don't worry about the pastors that are preaching wrong. The church of God will stand. Yes. How shall it stand? Oh, it will stand. It will make it through. Let me tell you something. It may seem like it's about to fall, but let me tell you what's happening. That's a futuristic conversation in that book. It will seem like it's about to fall, but it will not fall. That is futuristic. It means that she was talking about something after he went through it. So listen, brethren. Let me tell you how this works. You see that right there? That's the word of God. This is the word of God right here. And Christ just used it to measure this thing and got rid of it. And now the wheat and the tear is sitting here growing until spring. Do I have anything else to say about it? Nah, I don't think so. So if you have clutter in your life, apply the word of God. The word of God is not just about being baptized. The word of God is a manual for a human being that he will thrive, love and live honorably.